This is Designed Happy, the podcast where we talk about the human side of home design, remodeling, and new construction. I'm TJ.
And I'm Katie, and on today's episode, we're playing Family Feud, which I don't think is how they say it on the show, but that's my game show voice. We are playing Family Feud because, well, we'll get into why in a minute. Which is going to be a little hard, though, TJ, because I think I know how to play Family Feud, but I didn't actually watch it. You did? You were a Family Feud fan?
Yeah. Well, we've established previously that you're like I watch everything.
And
We're
I
I'm a
watch
I've
nothing.
oh nothing.
Nothing at all.
Um, I like Family Feud. I used to watch a lot of Family Feud.
Is there like a memorable episode for you?
No, no, I always like, there's not a specific thing, but,
Yeah.
when people answer with like adult type things in situations that don't really call for adult type answers, was always pretty funny, especially watching as a kid.
Nice. Did you have a favorite host?
Oh, I think the current host, I think Steve Harvey does a really good job.
Okay.
Uh,
I've more like used the Family Feud framework for like group projects. And um
oh,
one year my old company, we would do like a security training, and every year we tried to make it fun. Like we did an escape room as we like made the off anyway, um, or like a murder mystery, and then we were running out of ideas, and so we did Family Feud one year as our like company
oh,
training. So it's more, I'm more aware of the format than the actual show because it
mm,
that's a fun format. That's my kind of game where like you get to do some brainstorming and like throw out ideas, and there are like a range of answers rather than one right answer. That's
yeah,
Family Feud, right? I'm thinking of the right game. You're like,
yeah,
that's
yes.
that's Wheel of Fortune, actually. Um,
We surveyed 100 people and asked them,
yes.
yeah, here are the top 8 answers are on the board. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just way
Hmm.
more real. That's more like real life. Um, What does it have to do with you had a blog post, um, Designed Happy had a blog post from 2024. You were the author of it though. And
Hmm.
I'm making sure the credit goes straight to you because there was
You were trying to distance yourself,
a little bit.
right?
No, as I've said, I'm this is my style of writing. I will never be, or like reading. I'm like, give me all the details that don't matter. Set the scene and then set it again and then set it again. Like, I love books where they describe the landscape for like 200 of the 210 pages. So you used Family Feud as a metaphor, setup, framework
Hmm.
for this blog post on, was the title "The Most Important Word in Your Home
Hmm.
Design Project"?
And the most important word in architecture.
That's that was it. Good job.
Yeah,
You got it right.
that was it.
There was one answer to that. You got it right. Um, Walk us through that a little bit. Why? Why did you do that?
Why did I do Family
Why
Feud,
did
or
you
why
use
did I write
Family Feud?
the um because most of the way that I write, um is I try to make things relatable to the people, Katie, and the
Not
book
me.
is the book is full of dumb jokes and references to pop culture. And if I can lower your expectations at the very beginning, by the time you get to the end, you'll be like, "Oh wow, that was better than I
Actually,
thought it was gonna."
actually got something out of that.
Yeah.
Actually got something. I'm just I have a Family Feud question, though, which will
Oh,
help
okay.
this make sense to me and remember um, that all of like the answers on the board, they're not all scored the same. They have different values.
Right. Yeah. They add up to 100.
Yes.
Right. We polled 100 people, and they gave us there was I'm sorry, this is it's always
Here we
sunny
go.
in Philadelphia. Did you ever watch that?
Yes, ish. I've seen more clips of it than I've
Okay.
seen
But
the
there was an
episodes.
episode where the gang went on Family Feud,
Uh huh.
and Charlie is the crazy, like you don't know what he's going to do. And like they went around and they asked Charlie, I don't remember like what the question was, like, you know, I don't know, what's your favorite food? I don't know. And Charlie was like, dragons. And somehow uh like one of the answers was dragons. And
And was it the
and then they
highest
went around
scoring?
again, and no, 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 it was like one person um said it, but like, everyone's looking at us like, who the heck? And then like they go around, it gets to
Love this.
Charlie again, and like he says some other ridiculous thing, and they're like, oh my God, Charlie. And it's one person on the board. And then we learned later, like, how did you know those things? And he was like, oh yeah, I was at the mall, and somebody just came up to me and was asking me stuff. So like he was the one person who had actually answered the question before. So they survey 100, and then so the top answers are on the board. So every it's every answer has like,
Yeah, but in this, since you you are Charlie in this instance because you wrote the blog and you
oh
decided
no,
what the
I
most.
decided.
So let's like, I don't know how anyone could be, but if anyone is on the edge of their seat wanting to know what the most important word in architecture is, what is it? Big reveal.
Oh, do you want me to
I'm
spoil it?
drums.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear my drums?
Yeah.
It's a drum roll.
Yes, your drum roll.
Brrrr, that would have
Um,
been better.
oh, I thought this would have been like one of those times where you're like, yeah, we'll add it in post. And then I gotta find a sound effect. I gotta spend a half hour searching for drum roll sound effect, and then downloading it, and then putting it in the
You're creating your own
um
work right now. I am the sound effect. Brrrr.
Buildable.
Bing, 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 bing. You win.
Oh yay.
Yay. What an anticlimactic. Dragons. It's
Yeah.
dragons, the most important word in architecture. Okay.
Yes, that would have been
Um,
funnier.
here's my first response to that.
Uh-huh.
Duh.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It it feels obvious. It feels very obvious, which leads me to believe it must not be that okay. All right. I say that, and I am also the person who in 6th grade um drew a picture of like the office I wanted to one day have. And
Mm,
it was on have I talked about this before?
mm-mm.
Oh man. On the first floor, it was a bakery. on the second floor, which and the second floor was a veterinarian's office that had like a slide coming out of the second floor so that you could get to the pet ambulance. And on the third floor, it was a music studio where you could do tap dancing. And it also had not a slide, but something that connected to like a tree house coming out the other end. And there was a fourth floor. I cannot tell you what it was. I don't remember what it was, but there was something on the fourth floor. So I say duh, but I am also the person who created that building. And in sixth grade, like that feels like, yeah, when you're 7, like, but in sixth grade, and it had other, there were some like other things too coming out of it that I can't, like a chimney for the bakery, like, because it had, I'm
Yeah,
seeing like
that's
smoke coming out of the chimney in my drawing. Um, and in sixth grade, I was like, this will work. This will do. This will do. Probably not buildable though.
might be. Did they have this in New England? So in the late 90s on Long Island, this blew my mind. All this
Hmm.
is the only thing my friend group could talk about. You're familiar with Dunkin' Donuts and Taco Bell and Baskin Robbins. So on the main road in the town, there was a store, and it
Yeah.
was a Taco Bell and a Dunkin' Donuts and a Baskin Robbins, all in the same place, and we were just beside ourselves that there was one door we could walk through and get all of those things in one building.
In one,
Did it? Yeah. Yep.
we had Baskin Robbins and Dunkin'. Never a Taco. That feels
Yeah. Dunkin' Taco Robbins.
that feels off. Okay. Okay. That, but that's what you're thinking of when you think of my bakery vet recording, is it tap studio?
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah. The- we didn't know these three things were going to be great together, but now that they are, look at this.
Yeah. But
It
that's the
it it
like,
took one visionary to combine them all.
but that's it. And now you were talking about this earlier before we started recording. Now with AI that can kind of put any image you want together.
Yeah.
Do you have AI or not? Are you like, do you have people showing up and going like, I'm thinking of me with my drawing and being like, build this, make this for me. And you have to say, that's not buildable.
Um, we yes, we have had people that use AI to make stuff, and it's not that the answer is no. It's the answer is if we were going to build it the way AI is suggesting we build it, there are a lot of considerations that we need to take into account here, and it's probably gonna cost triple to do the stuff like if we're literally doing what's in the picture.
Yeah.
Because like AI doesn't really care about like your addition standing up, right? Um,
No, no.
like there was one where it was a walkout basement. So from the front of the house, you walked in on the main floor.
Uh-huh.
And then by the time you got to the back of the house, it was a walkout basement. So the first floor was actually one level above
Yeah.
grade.
Yeah.
So they wanted to do an addition that was on the first floor and no addition below. So it would be like a covered patio downstairs.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, is that tracking?
It is because that's my house. You're talking about me
Oh, well,
without the covered patio, but yes.
so they wanted to put a jacuzzi down on the patio
Mm-hmm.
down there. So AI created a picture, and it didn't put columns under the on the on the outside. Like there was nothing holding up the addition,
I'm not
you
an
know?
architect, but I did clock it
Yeah.
when there
So
was nothing holding up that porch patio. Hmm.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, we could do exactly what's in there, but we're not. We're
Gosh.
not. We're not going to do that. And
It really has such like um kid building a fort, kid kid idea energy. That's like, why won't it stay up? Like you were probably very good at fort building, I'm betting.
oh, thank you. Yeah.
It's just a guess, not so much.
Yeah. Well, look, this is time is weird, and we've mentioned before. There's a lot of these that we record in advance. So to give our audience here a little peek behind the curtain, the day we're recording this happens to be right before we're about to get all this snow. The forecast calls for 2 weeks of snow. So we're actually 2 weeks, 2 feet of snow.
I was
Um,
like, no one's going to be able to timestamp this. You're like,
um,
that 2 week storm. Hmm.
so right, it's like we're gonna get like 2 feet of snow. And I have this memory of when I was a kid of going out. We got a lot of snow on Long Island because of all the water, right? So like there
Yeah.
was one year where we got like 3 feet of snow, something like in one storm. So I went
Yeah.
out front and I built an igloo because we had no school for a week.
Of course you
Um,
did.
of course I did.
Of
Yes.
course you did.
So now I'm like, okay, I want to create that memory for my kids. And a lot years and years and years ago, we got them this fort building kit on Amazon. And it's like balls and poles that you put together and
Oh,
you can
yeah,
make
yeah,
like
yeah.
any kind of shape you want.
Yep.
So like we started with one, and then the fort started to get elaborate. And of course, like I'm all in to this with them. And we've built them like over the couch to like make like a TV watching fort or a video game playing fort. Like, so now we have 3 boxes of this fort building kit because they've just gotten more elaborate. And I just
Yes.
ordered a fourth one on Amazon because right now, what we're planning to do is we have a fort that's built in the basement here. It's ready. And what we're going to do is put it outside before it snows and cover it with plastic. And we're going to see what happens when it gets snowed on to see if we can make like a giant igloo out of the fort building kit.
Wow. Is it going to hold up in the snow?
See, I is it buildable? I
Is it
don't.
buildable? Well, I was to so smoothly transition into the first tip in this blog post from almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's to make sure you're matching expertise to the project. This is where, um, like if, because I was going to say, I want you to make those memories for my kid too. Like, because you have the expertise to build the igloo, to build the whatever out of snow that like a kid or teenager's mind can come up with. And I do not. So I would be the wrong adult slash professional for my kid to go to with that project. You, however, world's world's her oyster. Um, did
Yeah.
you like
So
that? Was that smooth?
it
Did
was
we?
smooth. Yeah. Yeah. And so the reason this is important to find somebody's skill set that matches the project is you say architect and you're like, I'm going to hire an architect. It's like, all right, I'm hiring an architect. But just like hiring a doctor or a lawyer or a therapist, like people have different specialties.
Right.
So I have talked to people before that are like, "Oh, my friend is an architect, and, they're probably gonna help me out." Great. Okay. What kind of architect? Oh, they
Mm.
design the commercial buildings in the city.
Igloos.
Well,
Oh.
yeah, right? That's totally different. Like if our specialty is big, complicated residential projects,
Mhm.
that's what we can be the best, that we bring the most value to a project like that. Legally, could you hire us to do a commercial project? Yes, my stamp works on a commercial project the same way it works on a residential project. But if we wanted to do commercial work, you wouldn't be working with me because that's not my area of expertise. I'd have to hire somebody who lived and breathed commercial work every day because it's a different specialty.
Makes sense. Okay.
Makes sense.
Again, all of these go back to every episode we've had before, and especially our finding a professional episode to
Yeah.
understand like what kind of choice you actually have in that decision. Tip number 2. Are you ready for tip number 2, TJ?
I can't wait for tip 2.
Tip 2 is bring in a builder early, which
Mhm.
when is early? Like what constitutes early?
I am not gonna say it depends.
Ah,
I a
yes.
there's a real answer for this, Katie, you'll be delighted.
I'm gonna just
Before
breathe a sigh of relief. Here we go.
Good. Before the permit gets filed is the answer. And if you wanna be even more specific, before the designer or architect starts drawing the permit set is the
Mm,
time to get the builder involved. So, let me tell
okay,
you the way it's normally done, and then I'll tell you the reason I think that doesn't make any sense.
great, love it.
The way it's no the way it's normally done, and we've talked about this a little bit before when in the budget episode, is somebody comes and hires an architect, and at the beginning of my career, I worked at architecture firms, and it's the air quotes normal way. This is the way you do it. You tell me all your hopes and dreams, and then I draw it for you.
Hmm.
Great, right? Super straightforward. And
Bakery,
then
vet,
yeah,
tap
right.
studio. I think it was a pool
Right.
actually on top. Pool. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, good. Rooftop pool and a
Yeah.
slide down on the outside. Draw
Not
it.
a rooftop pool, indoor pool. Indoor,
Oh,
TJ.
yeah. Okay. Got it. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay,
Fourth floor
makes
pool.
sense. Yeah,
Noted.
bring in the
Okay.
builder. Let's go.
Um, so you design all your hopes and dreams, and then the architect creates what's called a bid set. And then you take that project and you send it out for bid. And what happens is contractor 1 looks at it, contractor 2 looks at it, contractor 3 looks at it, and they give you a price for it. So you've basically designed the whole project. To get a price, you need to know what all the selections are, what the finishes are, what are the windows, the doors, the countertop, the cabinets. You got to design everything. And then you find out what it costs. And what happens on most of the, like literally most of the projects, is it costs more than you want it to cost.
Yeah.
So then there's an exercise called value engineering. What do we have to do to lower this number? So this all started because of AIA, the American Institute of Architects, creates standards and contracts to help architects.
Hmm.
And then they architects go out in the world and do this work. But all of these things were really created for big commercial projects because that's where the most risk is. There's a lot of people in office buildings or in apartment buildings. So these processes were created where a lot of people are, and they don't really translate all that well to single family
Got
homes.
it.
But it's the air quotes normal way for architects to do it, so it's kind of become
The
like
standard. Yeah.
standard.
And we still have not brought a builder in yet.
No, so the problem is value engineering means you're giving up something you fell in love with. In a
Yeah.
commercial project, it's very rational, right? So when you value engineer a commercial project, you're like, oh, it costs too much. Take one elevator out, whatever. It costs too much. Make the windows a little smaller,
Yeah.
right? Whatever. It's numbers. When you value engineer your house, it's like, well, if we make it smaller, can I still fit like that reading nook in that we had spent so much time like
Yeah.
I was gonna have my coffee in the morning and watch the sunrise out the window and like you're not giving up square footage, you're giving up like experiences that you were planning for a future version of yourself. So it's very hard to value engineer emotion. So I have a deep disdain for bid sets.
Mm.
So when I left gainful employment to start Design Happy, I was like, okay, I don't need to do it the normal way anymore. So what we do at Design Happy is we combine the normal way with design build. And what we do is we get a build partner on the team as early as possible. Because as you and I have talked about so many times before, you're not buying a kitchen, you're not buying a bathroom, you're not buying an addition, you're buying a service.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with the bid set is it doesn't take into account the different costs of the service.
Right.
So we get a build partner on the team early so that in the pricing structure, we understand what that level of service costs. And the build partner can educate us, the designers, and the homeowners that, okay, for us to remove this load bearing wall with our level of service, it's X.
Or if it's even possible, like if it's even an option, is that a part of the education too? Not just what it would cost, but what actually can be done in a space?
Um, I understand why you asked the question. If so,
But it
if
is stupid.
it's not, it's no, people ask me all the time, can we do this? If you say,
Yeah.
can we, I'm always going to say yes. The answer is 100% of the time. The answer is yes. The only time it's not yes, but or the only time it is yes, but is when we run into zoning issues, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If like
Okay.
you want to build right next to your neighbor's house, like
Yeah.
zoning might say no, but I would say, okay, yes, we can add more space, but we can't put it there. We need to put it someplace else. But the answer is always yes. It's just a matter of how much it
Okay.
costs.
So bringing in the builder earlier, bringing in the builder when you, in the way that you do, is about getting a more realistic from go, getting a more realistic sense of time and money.
Yes, that's one big thing. There's another big part of it too, though. And
Don't keep us waiting unless you want to make a different episode about it. In which case, save it.
no different episode. Um, the other important part is emotional, and it's not emotional for you, the homeowner, and it's not emotional for the designer. It's emotional for the builder. So in the heavy air quotes normal version, the builder's job is to execute a project that they had nothing to do with in terms of planning. It's someone else's vision, and
Hmm.
their job is to execute it. And then there's a line item on an architect's contract called construction administration, CA. So the architect goes out and makes sure the builder is executing that vision and kind of keeps the builder under their thumb. And it creates a confrontational relationship between the architect and the builder. So
Oh,
by
okay.
getting
Yeah.
the builder on the team early, Now the builder isn't executing someone else's vision. They're executing a vision that they participated in creating. So that construction administration piece goes away. I don't need to go and make sure they're creating my vision because it's not mine. It's ours all together.
Mm,
So that's the
yeah.
non-obvious part of it is the builder's relationship to the project is completely different because they helped planning it in a way that they don't typically help.
Yeah, which like decreases the chances of power struggles down the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to go to tip 3?
Do I? Yes. Have I been waiting this whole time? Bated breath. Tip number 3, practice radical transparency. Who would have thought? Um, from go? From like,
Yeah.
from the start?
From the start, we did a whole episode about
Yeah,
it.
I knew the answer. I knew it was because we did a whole episode and it comes up a lot. Um, whole episode on being open about money, needs, wants, everything.
So, uh, so all of it, 100% of it, be more transparent than you're comfortable being because that will help the professionals you're relying on get the project built. So
Hmm.
the three tips kind of all get interwoven together. It's not like do it once and then you're done. Like get the builder involved early, but you're not done because like we all need to participate as a team throughout the whole process. Don't only
Yeah,
be transparent at the beginning. Like you might need more than one professional. So make sure that the expertise is aligned for everybody. And so like it all happens throughout.
yeah.
Um, but the biggest the reason I think it's the most important word is I want your project to get built. What happens too often is people hire a designer or a contractor or a design build firm to plan a project for them. And it's not keeping this idea of buildable in mind from the beginning. So what ends up happening is the homeowner is paying for an idea that doesn't really have a chance to becoming real.
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
all they're left with is like a digital set of plans getting dusty in the corner. And that all they paid for was a thought exercise.
Yeah. Yeah, you've mentioned that before, and it feels so like I'm like, really? That feels so infuriating in a way. And but as you say it and explain it, not surprising. Like the ideating stage is kind like fun. is is the fun one and where you get to say yes and be I don't know, as imaginative as possible. Um but that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is heartbreaking. And
Yeah.
we're trying to help people avoid that heartbreak.
Mm,
So it's easy to say like, oh, the most important word in architecture is scale or proportion or beautiful or whatever. And a lot of that stuff to me, they're just table stakes. Like, of course it's gonna look good. Like,
mhm.
right? Like however you define good. If you have a lot of money or a little money, like we're gonna find a way to make it look good. Like of course, when you're working with a professional designer, like the space plan is gonna work. Like it's like not the most important thing. Like you're starting down this path to change your relationship to the house. And the only way you can do that is if you make sure from the very beginning that you can actually make those changes. So
Mhm.
with not starting from a place of buildable reduces the chances that it's actually going to get built.
Duh.
Duh.
In a no,
Circle back.
duh.
What
It's
dramatic pause. Duh.
in the most appreciative way, because I honestly, when I read this post, to wrap us up here, I I was and I got to what the word was. I was like, buildable. Oh, that feels like not super emotional. That feels we talk so much about like do this foundational work of knowing your whys and investing emotion in this in hopes that you will get enjoyment and the experience you want out of your home. And buildable sounds incredibly practical, and assumed. But what you're pulling out here is like, don't assume it. Eh, don't assume it. Um, and don't assume that any professional out there, any service provider out there is going to prioritize the buildability of
Mm.
your project. Don't assume that. So like maybe get to know the process of who you're working with before you choose to work with them. Um, and that the buildability, we're going to say, of the project, and all of those like whys and the emotion tied into it, like they're both a part of it. They don't need to be in conflict in this process either. So
Yeah,
it's a
and
duh, but it is also a like a duh to myself as well.
but just to I know we're over time here, but to
Always.
to to look behind the curtain a little bit at the way the architecture industry works. There's lots of ways to set up a firm. And there are some firms out there that are set up to extract the most amount of money from their clients, whether
Mhm.
the project gets built or not. Their motive is not changing your relationship to your house. Their motive is maximizing their profit.
Mm,
So it cannot be assumed that all of the people that are working on this project are here to actually help me build this thing, because I have workplaces and I have friends in the industry who have workplaces where it's like, hey, if they want to make changes, 100% of what we do, we bill hourly. So yeah, just make the changes for the next 10 years. That's cool. And there's no like built-in incentive to like move things along because they're getting paid to put lines on a piece of paper.
yeah. Yeah. Which another like really thoughtful duh when you say like you actually want to see and our team actually wants to see these remodels and new builds come to fruition, not just on, I'm going to say paper, but I mean screen.
Mm.
And again, like you would think, yeah, doesn't everybody? And it's like, no, not really. And in fact, having seen it within our team, it is frustrating when things are held up and kept from getting to the build, getting to, oh my gosh, folks actually being able to enjoy their houses. So buildability, buildability. What is there?
Every time you say that, I just hear Build a Bear.
I do
That's
too.
all I know.
That's the build. What another buildiness of the yeah, folks. That's our takeaway for this
this is
week.
this is that's
Make
that's the cue.
buildiness is key. Show us buildiness, Steve Harvey. That's all I got.
One
Anything we
person.
missed? Yeah.
No, let's end. We gotta go.
Let's shut this down. All All right, everyone. Till next time. Bye.
We'll see you then.